having family or marital problems? Is a burden too heavy for you and you need somebody to talk to? Well, tune into Prime Television every Saturday at 10 hours for Kuseniseni Distress Corner. You can make a date with our able panel to help you ease those burdens every Saturday at 10 hours. To share your problems and situations, you can call us on 211-239979 or 0955-871308. Or better still, you can text us on 3200. You text PTV, you leave a space, KDC, another space, you type your message and send that to 3200. That is only for Zamtel lines only. Kuseniseni Distress Corner every Saturday at 10 hours on Prime Television.
A very warm morning and welcome to this week's edition of Kuseniseni Distress Corner. It's another Saturday, the 12th of July 2014, and of course it's great to know that you can actually make time to be with us. You're watching Prime Television and this program comes to you every Saturdays this time around, and today we actually thought that we would accommodate more of your calls. So for those of you that have all those questions that you'd like to ask and tackled on this program, you are very free to actually begin to call in the next 10 minutes or so on 0211-239979. That is 0211-239979. And of course, I'm glad as always to welcome back to the studio Sergeant Shilisha. Sergeant, how are you? And welcome back.
Thank you very much and good morning.
Good morning. And how was your week and how was work?
Tiresome.
Okay, as always. And of course, we're very grateful that you can actually still make it and come to the studio. Now, like I said, Sergeant, today I thought we'd actually look at some of the questions that are asked at times because we never get to answer them as a result of maybe we are dealing with a different topic. And I remembered some of them that I really just thought we'd start with, even as other callers will probably be calling in later to continue to ask. And one of them, I think it must have been about 2 or a week ago, somebody asked a question about phones. You know, his complaint was really based on his wife checking his phone and always finding faults in it. So really, we might as well start from that point to say, is it okay for people or partners that are in a habit of actually checking up on phones and finding faults either with the call log, the missed calls, the SMSs that are in there, the names that are saved, and we have all sorts of problems that come as a result of phones. So is it wrong for somebody to feel the need to check their partner's phone if maybe they suspect that something is wrong, and as a result all these things that come about from phones?
Well, to begin with, I would say that it's not just phones, but it's every gadget that has come into play today. The iPads, the computers and everything. It's, what can I say? It's actually creating a problem, so to speak, because it basically, one, hides a lot of things, and two, it discloses a lot of things. So what I can say is that in any foundation, in any relationship, there is a foundation where it is based. There are some people that don't have nothing to do with whatever phone somebody has. That is their relationship. That is their understanding. In the other content, you find the other person wants to know everything that is about that person. They want to know the PIN number. They want to know who they spoke to. They want to know all these kind of things. Now, there are two things that you need to look at. One, is it you that created the suspicion? What I mean is this. For instance, if my phone would have at one time or the other created a problem in my relationship, then that person will be suspicious to want to know anything they can find out using that phone. Why? Because parifiachitike with that phone. So you may find it is actually my problem that I created that problem, that person now they become insecure to a point that they just want to know who were you talking to, who phoned you here, who SMS'd you there. Okay? That is one. The second part is that there are just some people that are just naturally inquisitive. Naturally. Even, I don't know how I can describe it, but they're just naturally inquisitive. They want to know everything. They want to know who you spoke to at work. They want to know who you dealt with. Even when you say, oh, they're just people that are just naturally like that, to a point that you can't tame them. You can't change them. That is just the way they are. So to them, if you say, no, you can't touch my phone, then it's a question of, why shouldn't I touch your phone? What are you hiding? What shouldn't I see? So at the end of the day, those are the wrangles that come about. But what I can say is that, in a nutshell, what I can briefly, or what I can simply say, is that it depends on those people's, how that relationship is built. Because if I say, don't touch somebody's phone, they will call me and say, why shouldn't I? If I say, touch their phones, someone will call me and say, a phone is a private thing. Why should he? Why should she? So basically, it just depends on the two individuals. How you understand each other, that's one. How much you trust each other, that's two. How open you are to each other, that's three. Then four, what is the basis of your relationship? If there are not so many secrets in your relationship to a point that you know each other very well, there's nothing that you have got to hide. So your friend has nothing to suspect. But if there are too many things that you hide around, you push under the carpet and this and that, when they find an opportunity, they want to find out what this is, who is this and all that. So basically, be open to each other, be free with each other. I mean, in a relationship, in a husband and wife relationship, or boyfriend and girlfriend, or whatever relationship, the best foundation of a relationship is trust, openness. The Bible talks about nakedness, that Adam and Eve were naked in the presence of God. The nakedness that we describe today, when we relate to that biblical content, is that there should be an openness, a transparency, to a point that there is nothing that your spouse should not know about you. So that is basically what I can say. I can't tell them not to, I can't tell them to, but it depends on the two people.
And obviously, I was going to ask this question to say, do you think sometimes it becomes like an addiction? Because I know people that have said some people are just addicted to it, because even when there's nothing to make them suspicious, they're just there. Because how do you find suspicion in the number or the frequency in which somebody calls? Or how do you find the suspicion in just a number being there? Because sometimes people will just say, I found this number without a name in my husband's phone, in the call log, and they feel the need to call. Do you actually think that's a suspicion? Because, I have this phone that I normally use on my program, and on various occasions I've had funny calls, but obviously I understand, so I just laugh it off. You get people call you and ask you, I found this phone in my number, or rather this number in my phone. So my answer usually is that, okay, how am I supposed to know how my number got in your phone? Because physically you are the one who should know better. So I don't know, if it's not a number that you remember, maybe delete it. You just get those funny calls. So sometimes it makes me wonder, because I guess, okay, that usually applies to women, unfortunately. Would you call it an addiction, where you feel the need to, you just find the number without a name, and then you want to call? What would you probably say to people that usually do that? Is that good for them to always feel the need to do that?
There is a level of insecurity in them. There's a level of insecurity to begin with. Then when you speak of an addiction, like for instance, me being a police officer, even when I get in a bus, I like sitting either in front or at the back. If I sit at the back, anyone that is coming in, I check them. Of what can they be talking about? Or that when I just don't want to get too involved in what people are doing, I sit in front. Even if there is a bus that is loading, I would rather wait for that one, because I don't want to know. But as long as I'm in the back, everybody around me is a suspect. Everybody. Because I don't know who they are, I don't know who they are talking to, I don't know who they relate with, so I don't know what they are planning. So basically there are people that are just have that insecurity in them, that to them everything is suspicious. Even when you get in a vehicle that they don't know, there's just that insecurity. So yes, there are some people that are like that, but then it gets out of your way to become an addiction, as you have said. It becomes your way of life, of just being suspicious of everything. Atumina nava pongoshi taishwa tibali chinja namba ndili atumafye aumvape mwana kashare asuka ndiwe ndani waiwanza kwamba na muna vanga nomvera nini mvere vichani mumafuna chani ndiwe ndani. By the time she comes to realize vapongosha rera ndanangwe, she has already said too much, or he has already said too much. So there is that insecurity. Now, what I will come to say is this, Manga. When you look at on the biblical concept, the Bible says, by worrying you would not add one hair to your head. By worrying. Then the same Bible comes to tell us in Matthew 7 to say, if the birds of the air and which do not cultivate, which do not sow clothes, are well looked after by God, how much more are you important in the hands of God? What I want to say to certain people is that reduce your insecurity by trusting and believing in people. Remove it by believing wherever he goes or wherever she goes, they are in capable hands. If you are going to be too suspicious, and you actually die of frustration and depression that is not even worthy. What I mean is that you are going to find someone is just basically talking to someone, like maybe we do counseling, okay? I'll be counseling somebody, and because of the suspicion, say, of my wife, you find at the end of the day, question, why are you taking so long? And you know how when it comes to counseling, sometimes you may take even 10-15 minutes.
Maybe let's just try and squeeze in a call there. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, good morning. You're through to the program.
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Good morning. Mubanga.
Hello?
How are you today?
Very well, thank you. And how are you?
I'm okay. Bachireshe wabukashani.
Mkwai mwashibuke no atimata.
Mkwai. Bachireshe, I think you are spot on. You are spot on, and please keep it up. I like the way you are coming out on the issues of phone. Because some people are addictive. They are inquisitive, sometimes for nothing. And this is what killed the rat. Some women even go to the extent of kusecha mawallet ya bambo. When the samba, you come back, you find your wife asecha mawallet. You see, these gadgets we are using today, Mwanga, and the Sergeant Chireche there,
yes,
they are a new thing. They were not there maybe 12, 13 years ago. They are not there, we didn't have phones. But tell me, cheating, was it there? Yes, it was there. People were cheating like no man's business. So how should someone come today and say phones they have maybe increased the immorality? Me, I don't see it. So for me, it's the issues of high levels of ignorance. People don't have the knowledge. People don't understand issues. It's the ignorance of its highest level. Because why should you, maybe as a wife, go in my phone? To do what? I bought you a phone. I bought myself a phone. And that phone is personal to use. How I save people in my phone, it's me who knows how I've saved the Chireche in my phone. I may not have saved the Chireche in my phone. I would have maybe saved the Chireche maybe as Drogba. I've maybe saved the Chireche in my phone as Messi. Now, if my wife came and say, Nangalu Messi ni nude, ni ndani, You see, it will create a lot of problems. So for us to stay away from such problems, let's stay away from our husband's phone. Equally, let's stay away from our wife's phone. Because tizafatira ma BP palibe mlandu. These are things are. Even okuzamte okujamasa. I'm glad we register our SIM cards today. When I want to register my SIM card, it was me who went there with my NRC. I didn't carry with me my NRC of my wife. No, I went alone with my NRC and register. Even at Zicta there, what is in their database is my personal details, not my wife's details. No. So why should my wife come in and start questioning? No, nanga phone, nanga message, who was calling you, nanga mwadiachani palanchi, mwezwanda kuti palanchi, who was calling you? It doesn't work out. So we are just bringing problems in manyumba as my tientileke msango or secha my phone. It's not going to work because it doesn't touch my BP, it doesn't touch my tender, it doesn't kwa many other chokera. So phones are personal, they are meant to be used for person. If you want to be checking your phone and who is calling, you install a landline in munyumba mwan. So that it's free for all. It's changanya. Anyone can call, oh, may I talk to Mumanga? Or may I talk to Chireshe? Then, oh, honey, there's a phone for you. You install a landline. Otherwise, if it's a mobile phone, I can answer it anywhere. Even in the toilet, I can answer that phone. That's how personalized these issues are. Let me close my mouth, Mumanga. I'm not a person who likes talking too much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Timothy there from Kabata. Now, of course, remember that today we're really just focusing on general issues and those questions that you get to ask, but we don't get a chance to actually deal with them. And this one we've started with was a question that a brother asked to say he's got some problems with the wife. So if you have various different other problems that you think you would like to ask questions on, you are very free to call on 0211239979. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Morning, Wanga. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And how are you? Your name, please?
Fine. This is Onesmus calling from McKinney.
Okay, just kindly speak up and go ahead.
Onesmus calling from McKinney.
Okay.
Yes, Sergeant. Morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Fine, thank you. I appreciate your counseling. I can call it your counseling.
We thank God.
Sure. This has really brought a lot of problems in people's homes. Much where two people are concerned, the couples. It's like these cell phones. For sure, there is that misinterpretation of saying no, it has brought problems in people's marriages, of which it's not true. What has brought problems in people's marriage is the attitude that we people have. At times, I wonder why. You are walking on your way, maybe. You're just taking a walk. Then you find that you are in the Banyamuka. You know, inside flies.
Yes.
Banyamuka, then you are busy now wanting to see where those flies are coming. When you know to say flies, they don't come from a good thing. Definitely, they must be a rotten thing, or maybe some feces there. But you want to see what is there. Then when you see again, you start spitting now. Why are you even spitting that saliva when you wanted to see what was there? So it is the same. Why trying to sit in someone's phone and then you are presenting messages when you knew to say nizakala na pipi nikangana mfoni? So sometimes then you bring it in yourself. So some bits are unnecessary to people. And some jealous, they don't even make any sense. Moreover, I can only support those who can say, no, maybe those calls which comes on an awkward hour, like maybe after 22 hours, someone just calls the lady, no, hi dear, no, I just wanted to say hi. When you are with your madam, it irritates anyway. If you're losing an appetite, whatever you can be wanting to. So some of these things, the jealous that we people has, it's not necessary. Please keep it up and continue with the program.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. And like I said, of course, you can still call in, not necessarily on the issue of phones. That is just the major one that we really had. But if you have any other question that you'd like to ask, today we thought we'd give you time to ask those questions that we never have time for. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Good morning, you're the program, your name and where you're calling from.
Hello?
Hello?
I'm not getting you.
Yes, we are getting you. Go ahead.
Okay. Morning, Akagun.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I think I'm not that when I find a country not to you for. Remember to add Pusana. Because that's in the Bible. When two people come together, when a man and a wife come together, they become one flesh. So there is nothing hiding. Because phone ya madam a phone and phone ya madam. Mama ngapalishi moto ndefo kuipusha. Bitu naipusha ngana mona maybe ama namba ziyambishiye kule namwipusha omunandi. Ndiye namba y'abana. Because naye nafule alondolola bwino. Oh, iyi namba y'abachite awe bwachite. Yote tumjipushe nati isho fo mwatrawanda. But nalaipusha. Ndaba ni banani abatuma. Abani bana naye nakuti afule anjipusha. Ndaba ni banani, abani banani. Because but today is Shishira at Yahweh because you are a new maker, which means that it's more HMONEFISA because that's local openness. Because in the part of openness, when you think of your end, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And of course, Sergeant, probably just wrapping it up on the phones. I know we can actually spend more time on that. But like I said, today really we want to deal with as many things as we can and accommodate those of you that have those questions that you want to, personal situations that you're having questions on and you want to ask. You are free to call on 021122399979. Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Good morning. Hello?
How are you today?
Very well, thank you. Your name and where you're calling us from. Okay, we seem to have lost that caller. But, of course, like I said, if you have any other questions on your personal issues that you may have, we just started with the issue of phones because it was a topic that was left hanging, or it was a question that was left hanging from a previous caller sometime. But you can simply call us on 0211239979. Hello, good morning. Hello? 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 Okay, I think maybe Sergeant, we can actually probably wrap up on phones. Who gets more harmed or who gets the most injured? The person that is actually checking and whatnot, and maybe just how to control or try to just limit or just probably stop it altogether if it's possible for those people that usually find themselves having issues surrounding phones. As we're wrapping up on the phone issue.
Okay. I would say, first of all, I want to go back to something that Timothy spoke about. Timothy spoke of the phone being a personal phone. But something clicked in my spirit that I need to point out. There is a certain level that you need your partner to know something about your phone. What I mean is that in our field, under traffic, there are times that we end up finding you end up at an accident where someone has died. And then the only source or the only point of contact that you have to other people is his phone. You may find maybe that phone has a PIN number, has a certain security code. You may not actually access it. So you sometimes need your partner to know certain things about your phone. Let's say your PIN numbers and all that kind of stuff. So that in case of anything, in case I'm so bedridden, my wife doesn't know where my office is, she can pick up my phone, open it, and maybe call my boss and say, no, my husband cannot make it because he's down and stuff like that. So despite that it's a personal phone, there should be some levels that there should be accessibility. That is one. Then the other previous caller spoke of jealousy. There is jealousy which is security, and there is jealousy which is absurd, which is just beyond this world. Yeah. So there is a certain jealousy where it comes out because of love. Somebody loves you so much that they feel that jealous. They don't want to, let me say for lack of terms, I would say they don't want to share you. They don't want anybody else to have a certain possession with you. So there is that jealousy which is security. But then there is also a jealousy which is just too much to a point that it becomes more like addictive. So we should limit, we should work out in ourselves to know that. Then you spoke, the other caller spoke of one flesh. Because we are one flesh and because of our nakedness, let there be a possibility that your friend can trust you. What actually increases the level of searching is the insecurity that comes in because somebody does not have the full trust of you because of either your activities or like the late night callings. Somebody just calls you pagatika usiku, or somebody SMSs you a funny SMS in the middle of the night, or whether it is at work, wherever. But all I'm saying is that let there be that transparency, let there be that oneness, that there can be freedom. Now there are some people that are so addicted to the phone that manga they can't leave the phone. They're just close to their phones. Let them be. And there are some people that can leave with the phone here for 2 days without even remembering where the phones are. That is the way they are. All I'm saying is that create an understanding in your relationship that will reduce suspicion. When there is no suspicion, there is nothing I'm going to search for. You spoke of limitations and stopping. The only way you're going to stop your friend from searching your phone is not by telling them, commanding them. It is by you to prove to them that you have nothing to hide. It's by you to prove to them that my phone is open. As I am open, this is how my phone is. Then the limitation that one person should have in themselves is the fact that you are never around these people 24/7. So the time that you spend with them, let it be the way it is. The time that you are not there, let God oversee on your behalf. That is why I quoted the scripture where the Bible says, by worrying you cannot add one hair to your head, but pray against certain things that your spouse or your partner or your friend may walk in truthfulness.
Okay, and obviously away from the phones, we've actually wrapped up on the phones. Like I said, this is a show really that we thought would actually make time for you, for those of you that have just various problems. We're not really centering on one this morning because we usually have people that would want to have questions on some of the issues that they're facing. It could be anything that you want to ask on, and today is that Saturday that you get a chance to actually call and ask. Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, your name and where you're calling us from.
Madam, thank you for that program.
Okay.
Let's be a platform to encourage people to have trust for each other. And the only way the people would have trust for each other is to allow each other to check on their phones, to be free with each other's phones. Yes, encourage the people, not to discourage the people, not to check each other's phones. Because when you are in the same house, you are living together, and whatever you do, you are doing it together. So there's no reason why someone should hide someone's phones, your phone, for what reason? You should be open. In a marriage, you should be open. There are a lot of things. These phones have brought a lot of problems in homes. So please encourage people to check, to have faith for each other, to have trust for each other, to be free with each other in the house. To leave, you can leave your phone anytime so that anyone, your husband, anytime can check it and be free with you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, like I said, Wesley, we've more or less wrapped up on the phone one. So, like I said, if you have any other issue that you have, a question that you have for Sergeant this morning, those questions that you normally want to ask but never get the chance because we're dealing with a different topic. Today is that Saturday that you get to call in and ask, and the line is 0211239979. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Yes, good morning. You're through to the program.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, and please always remember that when you call, kindly reduce the volume on your television set so we don't get feedback here in studio and we're able to get you loud and clear. Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning. You're through to the program. Your name and where you're calling from. We lost that caller again. But keep trying. Like I said, this is a Saturday that is open for any question that you may have. We are not really focusing on one topic, and we have more or less wrapped up on the phones. But I know maybe some other people would want to still say one or two things. But really, any other issue that you have a question on, something that is affecting you, those questions that you get to ask, but we never get to tackle them because of time constraints, and maybe we'll be dealing with another topic. So today is that Saturday that you get to ask. Hello, good morning. Hello. Okay, I'm not sure if it is actually people's lines or lines, but don't despair. Keep on trying. It's 0211239979. That is a line that you are dialing. Those questions that you just personally affecting you in your home. We're not centering on one particular topic, but we really want to deal with various issues that you may have questions on. Hello, good morning. Hello. Hello, good morning. Hello. I can hear there's somebody on the other line, but they don't want to actually talk. Nevertheless, please keep trying on 0211239979. Maybe we actually move on to another topic just before we actually get back to the call. In case you want to ask, hello? Please go ahead. Hello, good morning.
Hello.
Hello. 0211239979 is the number you are dialing. Today is Saturday, open for all those other questions that you have that may be personally affecting you in your home, situations that you want to ask about, but we don't have time normally to deal with them because of time and because we'll be dealing with another issue. So today is that Saturday that you are calling in to just generally ask. We were starting with the issue of phones, which we've already wrapped up on. So remember, as you are calling, we've wrapped up on the phone ones. We're actually now moving on to other issues. So in case you have a question for Sergeant and you want to ask, it is 0211239979. Those questions that you have, but we never actually get chance to deal with them. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're through to the program. Your name and where you're calling us from.
My name is Alex Dagan Kamara.
You can go ahead.
Yeah, I want to just ask whereby like you are in a relationship, the kind of person that you are dating and try like we cannot go on because I've grown up, I've changed, I want this and this. What can you say? Oh.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay, just kindly explain. Ask your question properly. We can. We are not getting the question behind your question, so just try and speak slowly and ask what you want to find out.
Okay. I'm saying that they are like whereby she says, no, we cannot go on. I want this man amount, a lot of amount. The amount that you have been giving me is too small. To count that is a relationship.
Okay. Thank you very much. I guess Sergeant actually managed to get the question behind that question. Did you? Okay. Yeah. And that is definitely what we're having for this Saturday. Any other personal question that you may have or issues that are affecting you that you want to ask, there's that Saturday that you get to ask. We're giving more time to you as callers to actually call in and ask those questions. So the line is 0211239979. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. Your name and where you're calling us from?
Thanks, Onesimus back again.
Okay, you can go ahead. If is it a question that you have? Go ahead.
Yes, it is my question, and it's directly to the sergeant. Sergeant.
Yes, sir.
I want to find out something on the duty of the police.
Yes, sir.
Is it this general question? So may I just find out something to say? Is it all right, like when the police they arrest someone, they confiscate things like a phone, the other things, then they have to get even the memory card that you hide in the phone to say, no, this gadget has a lot of information, so can you let me be with this thing even in custody? Then they say, no, you can do whatever they say. Then later on they tell you to say, no, it has gone missing. So is it all right, or what is your comment on that? Then the other question is that I've got a number of people who arrested by who've been arrested by the police, where you find that they arrest you over a different offense. And when arresting you in your house, they even get a TV set, a home theater, things like that. Then when you claim for those things, they start now telling you to say, no, you should bring in some receipts. Is it all right? And what do you say on that? Thank you.
Okay, maybe just to actually just be get a bit of clarity. Obviously, when Sergeant Leshe is here, he's normally here in his personal capacity, and really he doesn't speak on behalf of the police. We don't want to put him in a corner because the police obviously have channels that they actually deal with personal complaints and problems. We have the public relations office that does that. So really, when Sergeant is here, he's just trying to help us in his personal capacity and not really dealing with issues that are police related. So what we are really focusing on this morning is just personal home problems that you have. Like, I think, my brother, the best way to do is probably go physically and see maybe somebody that may be able to help you. We like Sergeant normally says, he's not here in the capacity of the police, but in his own capacity. So it's really not possible to get him to start answering questions that are of that nature. Sorry for that one. But nevertheless, any personal questions that you have with dealing with home issues and the various topics that we have on this program are those that we want to deal with this morning. Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello? Okay, you can keep trying on 0211239979. Today is that Saturday when we're trying to actually get in as many people as we can, but unfortunately we seem to be let down slightly there by the line, but do not despair, just keep on trying. Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello, good morning. Okay, maybe Sergeant, we might as well move on to one other issue that we still had that was pending, because remember we did have issues that we've just been jotting down but not really getting to tackle them. The issue of dealing with children outside marriage and disclosure and what is involved. I basically have two questions under that. I remember there was a Saturday that we had our father. Unfortunately, he never got back to us. He did say that he has a problem with his wife, which is quite rare, in that she has gone out more than once outside the marriage to have children with some other people, but he still returned her in the home, and he was just trying to find out exactly how best to deal with that issue. So really dealing with issues of children outside marriage, in this one I want us to focus on the issue of disclosure, and also focusing on the issue of the bringing in of these children into the home. Is that always the best way to sort it out? Who is benefiting? Is it because there are two victims, we can call victims here, the baby that is born and the wife now that has to deal with that issue? So really, how do people generally go about such issues? Because these are constant questions that we are normally getting. Okay.
To begin with, you said there's a woman that has been going outside her marriage.
Yeah, there was a question.
And then she gets pregnant and comes back in the home, and the husband still receives her.
Yes, you remember that?
Yes. Basically, that is love beyond words. The man just loves the woman. And the woman, he is so much... What word can I use? I want to be diplomatic. The woman is not really so much appreciative of the man. She doesn't see the love that he has for her. That is why she still does whatever she does. You know, a lot of people that go outside their homes, they don't actually see something in their home. So you're going to find that this woman goes out, she plays, comes back, and she's still received. That man just loves the woman. Not what she does, but the love that he has for her. And at the end of the day, most likely he prays and hopes that one day she will repent of her sins and then she'll come back home. So that is just love. I can't blame the man. I can't say he's weak. He's just in love. Then you're saying, is there always the best way of...
Is it always best to bring in this child into the home?
Well, to begin with, the child is an innocent person. To begin with. The child is an innocent person. The child never applied to be born. The child was created or was formed by the two people that were doing whatever they were doing. So the child being an innocent person, and when you look at the human rights, the child has the right to shelter, he has the right to education, they have the right to food, and all those things that protect them. So at the end of the day, you need to realize that the the child being an innocent person, somewhere, somehow, he needs or she needs to be taken care of, either by the single mother or by the man that fathered the child. So in a way, that person in that relationship need to find a way of taking care of that child. Now, what I want to say is this. How the matter is tabled is maybe where the question can be. How can it be tabled? How can somebody come in the home and say, oh boy, ninkwatawa mpundu 6 kumbali, ndefo kubaleta panganda.
Okay, let's see if we can actually allow this go. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning. You're through to the program.
Oh, Timothy is back, sorry.
Okay, very brief.
Yes.
Go ahead.
The issue of children, Rakunja, bringing them home and how we sort them out. First of all, I think it must be understood that as a husband, let me talk from the point of husband. As a husband, you must be able to you must be able to understand your wife. You must know your wife very well. You have to look at her very well. How can she accept this news? Now, if you know the kind of a woman you have that in Kalam, she cannot accept such, maybe for lack of terms, she cannot accept such nonsense. So maybe she'll go into depression, or she'll get mad with the anger. Then you simply do a don't clever. Why you are doing that? It's because for the peace of your marriage. You simply say, okay, let me not disclose to my wife, because you know what type of a person you have in your wife. But when you weigh the benefits, Sergeant, you weigh at the benefits. I think in an ideal situation, it will be wise and it will be good to bring those children wakunja, mabaleta munyumba. You bring them together. Wakulira pamozi na bajawa munyumba, so that they know each other very well. One, financially, you are going to cut on a lot of expenses. Two, you are going to reduce on the chances of you coming into contact with their mother. You are going to reduce the suspicions also from your wife. To say, no, mmanama mwendo ona bana, kansi mwendo ona abamai babo. So you are going to do, there are a lot of benefits actually when you bring those children. You incorporate them into the main family, you are going to find that the benefits outweigh the disadvantage. So it's unfortunate that our women folks sometimes they are so reactionary. They don't want to hear that it's unfortunate, but when you look at the advantage, it's even more advantageous than to keep those children away, because sooner or later you receive call-outs from children that no, you are failing to support those children. Can you support those children? And you'll be slapped with a lot of money. You'll be paying maybe 1,000 per month for child support. So to avoid all those things, you bring those children. I know it appears so harsh on our women, but it saves a lot of time, it saves a lot of money, and the harmony and everything. Let me close my mouth for now. I might be tempted if there will be another issue. I thank you.
Unfortunately, though, we seem to be running out of time now. Okay, I was more or less going to ask this question towards the end, but let me just ask it now. It's probably going to be wrapping up on the children's issue. Now, I'm just thinking, even as Mr. T is actually contributing, that it's quite unfortunate that you get to want to sit and find solutions to something that should not have happened in the first place, as in having a child outside marriage. But my question really is that, do you sometimes think that the way it is sorted out the first time gives leeway to this man to feel comfortable to do it again? You would actually agree with me that most of the situations that we've had that have dealt with this is not just one child. There was one that actually went to the extent, was at 4. The one where we lost that woman because of depression, because of the 4th child being born. So do you sometimes think that the first time it happens, the way it is handled really is very, very important to more or less curtail it, not to get this man to be so comfortable? Because I think now the rate at which these situations come, it actually just shows that people are just so comfortable that it's a part of life to just go on and bring these children, because it is unfair now. We have to now be finding solutions to these issues that should not be happening in the first place. So do you think the way it is is handled the first time should be able to probably curtail that it doesn't happen again, because that situation still rings in my mind. The example that I've given, unfortunately, that lady since passed, may her soul rest in peace, where the husband had brought into that point 3, and there was a 4th one on the way, and she had just generally gone into depression until she lost her life. So dealing with it the first time it happened, maybe to just curtail it, that it doesn't happen again totally. How do we do that as we are wrapping up on that
the
one?
woman is the maker of a home. I've always said that. It is up to her to put certain things in perspective. It is up to her to put certain measures. Now, but Timothy has tackled it so nicely that he has emptied my bin. Now, he has said it reduces suspicion. Why? Because some people, they have a baby come back. As long as they are seeing each other and meeting each other in the...
Maybe we allow just this one last call, Sergeant. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Yes, sir, hello.
Hey, leo maplanga kuchawamu.
Mwashuka shanwa maplanga.
Ana vocacia kwenu. Madamu Panganda afuire aishi bali tulemu paka wa mulondero ko batwali kukata abana. Then ababa nanga ali kutemu afuire okukusunga. Batakwe batinga kana okubasunga n'abana kutemu. Okay, bye.
And obviously, we are really more focusing on those children that come during the course of the marriage, and then you still have to deal with them and bring them into their homes. Those are the ones we're having. One last call before we actually get back to Sergeant. Hello, good morning.
Hello?
Please reduce the volume on your television set when you are calling. Always remember to do that. And straight get to your name and where you're calling us from and your contribution. Hello, good morning. Hello? Okay. I think, Sergeant, you can actually get back to...
I was saying Mr. Timothy said that it reduces suspicion. Why? Because as much as that person will be known at Impia, no, umwana na alwala na mkumono mwana, and all that kind of stuff, it creates suspicion. Kunganda. Why? OFBC, you are going to find some women actually would say, ngakudi file fuaika kudi amule pera inende tuala, so that they cut that communication, so that that thing should not be given mandates to go on. Then then the don't kubeba aspect that Mr. T used. The don't kubeba is a bad perception. Why? Because you see, one or the other, whether you like it or you don't, man, one day, when that child, was it last week when you were talking about it, the other week when you were talking about names relating, yes, one or the other, that child would want to know their genesis. They want to know where they come from. They want to know who is the father. Why am I not being taken care of? What is wrong with me? That is why you find some parents who actually tell the child to say, well, we're sorry for, because they don't want that person to want to go out to look for whatever answers to their questions. So they don't cover aspect, one or the other. They are going to come back to you. Now imagine a child comes panganda when he's 21 and say, no, you are my father. Then the wife is also seated there at 85. Then she starts wondering, who needs a PhD? So the don't cover part, I believe, is not really a conducive way. Somewhere, somehow, you need to tell your friend. Somewhere, somehow, your friend needs to know, to say this has happened. Now, you asked a good question to say, isn't it that it gives them now a mandate? Kaidi Udiana na fiere kumbali has been accepted. Aya fiara no has been accepted. Aganshi finef. Now, when a mistake is made, you can accept it's a mistake. How can that mistake come into play? One, was it because that person maybe in their drunken state, they did not know what they were doing? Two, was it because of depression at home that they felt they can find a solution, comfort outside their home, at the end of the day ending up producing a child? Three, was it out of their abnormality in their thinking that they went outside their home and produced a child? All those questions, they need to come down and summarized. What is the problem? What caused you to leave the home to go and produce a child outside your home? You see what I'm saying? So when all those things are cut down, then you polish up from where the mistake was. When you polish up from where the mistake was, then you start building on what could have been the problem. so that that problem do not incur again. So now, then you said, Mr. Timothy spoke of the reaction. Okay? Mr. Timothy spoke of the reaction. The reaction there, Mr. Timothy said that women react. How can they not react when it is more like getting a knife and piercing in their back? Definitely the reaction is going to be there. You don't expect somebody just brings a child pang and oh hey I'm they definitely will react, because it is almost like, frankly speaking, it's just not fair. You see what I mean? So how you bring that conversation in a home has to be in a way, in a mature way, that let it be that the child came out of a mistake, the child came out of something. I don't know if there's anything that somebody may call a point of understanding to say this is how the child was created. I don't know if there is. If there is, then use that understanding. But frankly speaking, Mr. T, the reaction is going to be there, because it is just like Mr. Timothy went on to say, it is harsh on the women, and that is how they are going to react. So the reaction would definitely be there. Then you said, isn't it a leeway that this person will do it again? Now create limits. My friend, okay, fine, fiachitika. Let this be the last time. Because if anything happens of this nature again, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things are going to happen in this place. Because then you are sending a different message. You understand what I'm saying? So they should be that. When you pin on that and you close on that, you are going to find that there will never be a repetition of such kind of an action.
Okay. And we obviously maybe may try to actually accommodate some more calls here. We actually thought we'd run out of time, but I think we've got a few more minutes that we can actually still get some calls on 0211239979. I think there's a question that is pending from our gentleman that was calling from Kamal. I think he was asking. Okay, let us just get to the call. Just hold on that one. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, Mashuka Mkwai.
Mwashuka shan. Kuti babwesha kukoli mkwai.
Mashuka Mkwai.
Mkwai mwashuka shan.
Bwino, waende kuwa kwenda kuliwe ni programu na mshita bwino sana.
Twatotera mkwai.
Mkwai. Kwenu wakuleta omwana panga na chali chintu chimwe chako sasana. Pakuti uchipokeleni. Wantu uyo mwana waile FCRO pakuti wafyale kulia. Panga ndapisa pali. So tali be kitu chimwe chako sasana. Nenda kwenda kumafoni ile hata kumafoni kufikia mkashowe foni. Shikali kumafoni shika foni. Quando un cachorro wate ma te tu se foni comunque na foni quelli che fa public per assegno lei tabano qui tab non vede che fa foni ni sta fai mun mo sore na bini conditions na ta sam kwai
just ma'am kwai. I'm still getting some more calls before we wind up on 0211239979. That is the line that you are dialing. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Mumbi. How are you?
Fine, thank you, Amand. Greeting all the people in the studio. For me, no, the issue of bringing a child in the home, first and foremost, men must be told. Us men sometimes we are so selfish. First and foremost, don't do it. You have a wife whom you are supposed to give all the children. The number one thing is don't do it. And then two, it is not a right to say now because you are a man, you just bring the woman and then give conditions to the woman. Give her time. What the other man in the studio said. To see how best probably that child can come in the home, not so imposing. Because imagine your own wife also goes outside the home, gets pregnant with somebody else, then cheats to you, does it don't whoever do, making you feel like your own child when it is somebody else's child. How would you feel? Think of it. So we should have humility where women are concerned. Let us not go out of our homes to have children elsewhere. If you are frustrated, the marriage is not working, call other people to help you come out of that marriage. If it's an abusive marriage or it's not working, not you treating your friend Muzano Bayonde because you are the man, you have to take charge. Me, I don't agree with such principles. What should happen is avoid having children outside, but when it happens, talk to give respect to your woman in the home. You have to go by them because she's got feelings. Others like this, they are faint-hearted. Others are very hard. They'll be hard on you. It is because you made the mistake in the first place. Yes, it's very, very important. Respect your partner. things are failing in the home, don't use violence, don't do anything. Let the thing or continue nicely and peacefully. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mumbi. 0211239979. That is the number you are dialing. Hello, good morning. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, good morning.
Nginombanga chakweva ati lumukashana wale upa akusangira walikwata kale wa mwana. Then alekulesha okutwala support. Then waatenda omwana oyo wamuleta panganda kutamba okumukyusha kuti wakitashani.
Now please always ensure that as you're calling, reduce the volume on your television set so that we get you very loud and clear, because that TV is on, we get that feedback. So please always just turn down the volume on your TV set. Hello, good morning. Hello? Hello, good morning. Maybe Sergeant, you may want to actually first answer this question that the brother has said, to say in the other regard where this child was known, but the wife doesn't want to have that child home, and when the child is brought there, those differences and the child is being mistreated. How would he go about sorting out that issue?
Yeah, before I answer that one, there was a question, was it from Alex, where he says that, I don't know, the person he's dating says, the money you're giving.
Yeah, it's like she now wants something higher, or else she's going to leave him. Is that a relationship he can continue
that
with?
Relationship is based on material things. You see, get in a relationship for the right reasons. Get in a relationship because you love somebody. Whether they are black, they are green, they are purple, they are yellow, whether they are fat, they are tall, they are slim, they walk like what, or they look like what. Get in a relationship for the right reasons. When you get in a relationship for the wrong reasons, these are the things that, when those reasons that you got in a relationship, you are going to find somebody, they get in a relationship and to alabomb. Inchtonga yapwa na relationship nangu ichupo inchi na chena chapo. Impianga shambo kuchepa the relationship. So get in the relationship for the right reasons. Now this man is saying that he got in a marriage when he already had children outside, okay? When he already had children elsewhere, so to speak. Now, Mdala, what is happening is that Abakashvenu, to begin with, she doesn't love the man. She doesn't respect the man. Because when you love the man or you love that woman, you love them with everything that is about them. You love them with their family. You love them with their uncles and aunties. You love them with that person. You accept them. So when somebody does not accept any part of you, then they don't accept you. Basically, they love you because of something that you have given them or something that is about you, but not something that is related to you. So instead you go them from inception, it's much better you seize that relationship. Because you see, some of these street kids that we have, you're going to find that their fathers are well settled, their mothers are well settled. Now the problem is that one of the two spouses start Yamuavana and Baba Tamfia Pansi. Those are some of the street kids that we're having. So for the protection of these children who are innocent, Ngawamana Tumnove cannot accept those children from the beginning. Tell them the truth. Boy, you couldn't have my Naguriavana for Nangulem Bonapanonde Kalapadi sister, and I feel Sungavana, Mayo. When I settle down, I'm planning to bring my children. Do you accept me and my children or not? Before you even get married, learn to understand, to say this person will accept them or they won't. If they want, for the benefit and for the safety of your children, I believe forget about that relationship.
Okay, and I was probably going to ask you maybe also to talk to the women that find themselves in, like we all know sometimes that we deal with issues where people are beginning a relationship and there's always a child. Before I ask you that question, I think we can allow this call. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Mwashibuken.
Mkwai mwashibuken.
Mkwai, nimewa na Mike ndeti makukanyama.
Mkwai.
Na newe ineyo mingi temwa kwa mpifre chitika. Ifosa mlela ndapo. ekiresi kamukuline ine bano mebantu baisantalira omwana kumbali umo nabalekerera bamuleetera omwana nasumina futi ndesunga oli omwana futi bafuma futi bakulirwa ne girlfriend futi bamutera omwana mubatu so yo program natasha sana tomulera bafuna bawome baleewunfobole tukyusha. Bye.
And that will probably go back to my earlier question. So sometimes isn't that giving a leeway, like I think her testimony there is one, it always probably leads to it that once it starts, the probability that it's going to happen 3 or 5 times is more higher than one person just going to do it once. I'm being told by our directors there that we've actually exhausted our time, Sergeant. We may as well conclude on these 2 issues that we've probably touched on for the
day. You said I saw to the women.
Yeah, I was maybe going to just say that you can talk to women really. In that man's case, I think the person that needs to be talked to is a person that is denying this child because she had an idea that the child already exists, as opposed to people that didn't know. He says he married her when he already had the child. So really, even as people are going into marriages, knowing that this other person has a child, what are some of the things that they should put in mind in accepting this child so that they bring that child and raise it as their own, if need
be?
Okay,
to begin with, one, sometimes the reaction that the person that is receiving the child has is a problem in the upbringing of that child. Mulesanga limbi ati umwana tawamukusha wino takwata mchinshi limbi wafiko, you are going to find this person is tidy, alafu ayanganika stuka ikala pa deni wena palapene pali ka stupo kale ikala weno polesa mkuvika modu meninga wasanga limbi umwana mukuruko size ya kwa brand. Mnezanga size ya kwa brand umwana mukuruko and he wants to be ruling munga ndamuli abandi nabaya ingila. So you are going to find that person will have a problem. So what I'm simply saying is that as much as you are having children, bring them up in a nature that they will be accepted by any person. That such that, because in Ghana, my children need to be accepted. You see what I mean? So I need to bring them up in that level. Nothing abaipika kapenta tinesi ningajefi kapenta vinunga. Mami ni chao mamuni gurira konkuku na bena baya hani. My child cannot eat kapenta. You are creating that friction between the 2 people. Instead of them getting to know each other, you are creating the gap. Why? Because of their upbringing. So naturally, bring up your children in a way they will be accepted. Then now, to the spouses, either to the man or to the woman, when someone comes in your life, basically when you meet them in the street, you don't know their baggage. You only come to know their baggage as you are relating. So as you are relating, wasanga chumuntu abasona. So ngana umutemwa. Accept even that child. Take them up like your own. Bring them up like your own. Why? Because you will find favor in the sight of God. I'll link this. The Bible talks about the Good Samaritan. The Bible says the person that looked after the person that was actually ambushed was a person who was called a Samaritan. Now, biblically, a Samaritan by then, they were non-Christians. There were people that today we can say Satanists. But that person today has favor in the sight of God. Why? Because of his actions to this person that was denied anything. So what I'm simply saying is that sometimes when you bring in these children, you are going to find favor because of what you are doing in their lives.
Okay, and lastly, as we are addressing the men that are fond of bringing children in the marriage, very briefly as well.
Very briefly, I would say sit down and iron out your problem in your relationship. Iron it out. Look at this woman that just called recently. Probably there's just one problem, umunganda, a small problem. Because he still goes back home and he still stays home, but he still goes out there. If it's your nature, ngawarikwata weakness, so to speak, discipline yourself. Discipline yourself that you don't create that. Why? Because you see, you are harming your friend. Look at what she said. She said it's not fair. You are harming your friend. Iwe kuriama enjoy. Nature itilimina chaka limbiri na ku guest house already anama tiboni. Kunganda na kapenta takuli na salad takuli. It's harmful. The best thing that you can do is build. That is what I always say. Build. There's no problem that can ever be solved, Umanga. No problem that can ever be solved. The problem is that we don't communicate. Instead of sitting down and saying, boy, this is my problem. How do we sort this? Honey, sit down. Finish your phone, Mama, what is the problem? In a way, I don't think in Shkwana. Every time Gatuambo kwera palika jumping castle, pompolora. So at the end of the day, I'm not getting satisfied. Sit down and talk about it. Going outside is not a solution.
Okay. Sergeant, as always, I'd like to thank you very much for having made time to come to the studio despite your busy schedule and week. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And unfortunately, that's all we had for this week. But remember, you can join us next week at the same time when we come back. This time with a very interesting topic, I must assure you that you don't want to miss out. So make it 8 with us. But also, let me just make mention for those of you that probably need to go to church today and you never went. Be rest assured that this program, we do have the repeat of it on Sunday at 16 hours. So really, if you need miss it on Saturday because you need to go to church, you can still catch us on Sunday at 16 hours. And also to the business houses, this program is available for sponsorship. So you can call our lines. You can start with 0211-2399 for those of you that would like to sponsor this program. Or you can simply come through to town. We are at Indeco Building on the 12th floor. Thank you very much to all of you that participated on the program. Until next week at the same time, Mubanga is my name. God bless you. Bye-bye. That